Hey guys, welcome to another video on Brand Device where we talk about business and finance in Germany in English. So in this video, I have something interesting to share with you. I have my phone right here with me and I will be showing you my portfolio, what I have on Trade Republic. Now again, very important thing, just like you guys are learning investing in stuff, like I also started when I turned 25 and which was this year. So this year, January, I decided, all right, doesn't matter like how things go. I'm just going to sit down and I'm going to start investing in my first stocks. So the very first stock that I ever invested in was not technically a stock, it was an index fund. And that was Core MSCI World. And I did that on 20th January 2020, so this year. And from that time onwards, now the portfolio has grew to around 40,900 euros, and with I think 4,000 euros which I just put inside today. And I have a limit order set up for two companies. The first one is Main Street Capital Corporation, and that is because of, again, the dividend yield. In the starting, I had this idea that, all right, I have to start somewhere, and I know I have to start now because the sooner I start, the better compound interest I'll be getting on the entire story. And that was mainly because of one reason, because as a self-employed person, I understand that I will have to take care of my own pension when I retire, when the old age starts, because German state is not going to take care of me in that case. And being financially smart, I already had the idea, all right, I have to start saving for it from now. And that's why the Core MSCI World, which generally is just tracking a broad 1,601 different kind of companies, so it's a broad index, and it has just been growing because the entire market is developing, more and more expansions are happening, the companies are trying to grow their revenues. So in general, I'm not so worried about it right now, and hopefully this index fund is also going to help me in my retirement. That's why I'm saving every single month 500 euros in this. I started very small. I think in the starting I just bought one stock of MSCI World, and I bought one stock of MSCI World Emerging Markets. So again, that was the story at that time, because I didn't want to put too much money inside at one time, because I was not sure what happens when you click on Core MSCI World, you go to Kaufen, and what is the entire story. Because the thing is, of course, can you sell it easily? Can you get the money back? What happens? What is with the taxes? So all of these things were very new to me, which I have now been able to share with you from my own experiences, by getting the dividends and seeing the capital gains and things like that. But at that time, when I was doing it, there wasn't another channel which was talking about business and investing in English. So that's why, of course, it was all new to me. I started very small, and this is also something I would like to recommend to everybody, because of course, once you start small, you develop confidence over the time. First you invest with a small amount, then you see you can quickly sell it and you can actually get the money back, which builds confidence again, and then you can go ahead and you can start investing in different kind of companies. So right now I wanted to talk about my portfolio. So if you see already on this side, you will be seeing my phone screen. So I have Core MSCI World, Johnson & Johnson, PepsiCo, Coca-Cola, AJNC, Investment Corp. Then you have Realty Income, then Prospect Capital, then AT&T, then Stag Industrial, American Express. Along with that, I have right now limit orders set up for two different companies. The first one is Main Street Capital. So I have the limit order set up here for 79 stocks at 25.58. Now that's the price at which I want to buy it. So you don't directly have to go to Kaufen and then just buy it on the market price, because it can go up and down. What I always do is I go to Kaufen, then I go to limit price. And on limit price, I make it available for 1 year. So as soon as the price drops below the price that I give inside here, then it is going to execute the order for me. So that way I know that I'm not overpaying for something just because the market fluctuates. So this is just another interesting tip that you can use when you're buying stocks. And the next company for which I also have my limit order set up is Gladstone Capital. Now again, all of these are different kind of REITs. Many of them are REITs, so real estate investment trusts, which are paying out monthly dividends. For me, that was an important transition, because of course, first you want to go secure. I went securely with the Core MSCI World, because again, the fluctuations are comparatively lower as compared to the individual stocks. Then the second thing I went with was Johnson & Johnson and Coca-Cola, because again, these are very stable companies, have been paying out the dividends for very long times. So in that case, I was also sure, all right, if I'm investing money here, nothing's going wrong. And then afterwards I picked up PepsiCo, then I had AT&T and American Express. So the AT&T dividend actually motivated me more to actually think about what are the other ways that you can keep on getting income on the side and without really doing much about it, because Of course, most of the investors, like, that's the perfect dream, that you have enough money invested in your assets that they keep on making you money, so that your time is not bound together with how much money you're earning. So after doing my research on the monthly dividends, I came across a few very interesting ones. The first one was AGNC, then was the Realty Income Corp. So if you go to Realty Income's website, like, they have even mentioned the monthly dividend company. So they rent out spaces to like big retailers and generally are like stable. So they have been growing over the past few years. So that way, again, like, it was a nice investment. Then also like Stag Industrial. Now they're also renting out spaces and the growth also has been very nice. So like in these kind of scenarios, I'm not worried, and all of the money that I'm putting inside in these REITs or different kind of companies, this is all of the money that I can like afford to lose. So like I don't really care like if the money becomes zero like all of a sudden, because when I'm like budgeting anything, the money that I have invested in the stock market, I don't even count it as a saving or anything. Like, I just think about it as the money that I got, that I try to put aside for different kind of investments, and I'm not going to touch it for the next 5 to 10 years. That is very important, because otherwise, as soon as you see the price dropping down, like, people freak out and then they start selling things, and of course then they are selling it in a loss, so which is like not that nice. Things are crazy right now, and I understand a lot of people are predicting that there's going to be another crash coming, and I totally understand that. Like, it is possible, like anything is possible, but as far as I know, like, there are a lot of competent people working in these like major corporations. So what I'm pretty much sure about is like, this has to be a very like screwed up problem for them to like just drop the balls and like make the company insolvent, which has been like running for so many years. So I don't believe that. Like, I'm not giving into that kind of fear, because like, of course, in Germany, like, if you don't know the culture here, people do not like to invest in stocks at all. Like, they just think of stocks as like playing the lotto, whereas they love to play the lotto and say like, yeah, that's not risky, it's just like taking so much money. And I just think about it, like, the money that you're investing in playing lotto or something, you can just like put inside in stocks, so that at least like you still have a part of the company which is paying you out dividends every single month, or every quarter or something like that. So of course, when you see a culture like this here, because I've tried to like talk about investment like with, let's say, Alina's grandparents or Alina's family and stuff, and like nobody seems to understand that. Like, my family also like never really did too much with that. So this is a difficult situation, because when you want to start out and nobody in your surroundings has done this before, then of course you just feel more skeptical. But the important thing is like, it is your own life. Like, you can build your own experiences, you can try new things out, and I think starting with investing is like nothing bad. You can start with as little as 25 euros with Scalable Capital and 10 euros per month with Trade Republic. Of course, these two are really nice banks, and afterwards you have Consorsbank, which is also offering a lot of different kind of services. So like, if you're interested in that, that also offers easy depot opening, because you have post-ident, and especially for people who do not have German nationality or have German IDs, for them opening a depot is like even more difficult. That's why if you're struggling with that, try these two other options and see like with which you can open the depot, and take a look at the costs. I prefer Scalable Capital only because you still have the option of putting inside the ETFs at 25 euros per month. So like, you can always start with the ETFs, and when you feel like you want to do something else, what you can always do is you can shift your depot, and you can shift your depot without any kind of extra costs whatsoever. Now, so let's say you want to shift from Consorsbank to Scalable Capital, or from Scalable Capital to Trade Republic whatsoever, you can always do that without any kind of problems whatsoever. Now also, I want to quickly show you the dividends. Now, I use an app called DivCalc, DivCalc, and I find it really nice because it has these different kind of options. You have the news for different kind of companies in which you have invested in, and then afterwards you also have the upcoming dividends, like when is what dividend coming. So if I see here, I have Gladstone coming up when the order executes on 30th September, and the X date is the date till which you have to buy the stock in order to be able to get the dividend from that particular company. So of course, like, this is a very nice interface, and my current annual income is around 1,426.91 euros, or the monthly income is around 118.91 euros. Now, I've done it like conservatively because, of course, like I showed you in a previous video, you have a tax-free bracket of 801 euros on which you're charged 15% tax, because the stocks are from US, and then for the rest of it you are charged in total of like 25.55%. So I'm just like taking it like more conservatively with like 26%. But like if there would be no tax whatsoever, and like if you're a person in US where you can like get a lot of dividend income without paying much taxes, then it would have been around 1,928 euros and 25 cents. But right now, when I use this DivCalc and I put the tax withholding rate to 26%, then we see that the annual income is somewhere around 1,426.91 euros. Monthly is 118.91 euros, and daily is almost 4 euros. So again, a lot of like interesting companies, like of course Prospect Capital is doing well, AGNC Investment is paying out nice dividends. Then I have Gladstone, Main Street Capital, Johnson & Johnson is also paying, but of course it's paying out quarterly, so I do not really like that much. Now my focus in the next weeks is going to be to try to find out more monthly dividend companies, see how stable they are, and also share my experience with you. So this was my portfolio. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to ask some questions, head over to Instagram, write to me there, and I'll see you in another video. Thank you so much for watching. Keep investing, stay smart, and bye-bye.